have to stop talking, but I'm going to give you like a 2-minute warning. Just going to let everybody finish up at the bar, and then we'll get started. So thanks for coming out. If you guys want to put your name in the bucket and you haven't already, there are slips of paper and a pen up here. Put your name in for a chance to tell a 5 to 8 minute story. Good evening, everybody. Hi. Woo. Welcome to our 13th show here. I know, you guys, crazy. Some of you guys have been here from the very beginning, and I appreciate it so much. So thank you for continuing to be loyal and enthusiastic members of our audience. We have a really, really incredible show tonight, and I have a really good feeling about the crowd. We have 6 storytellers tonight curated, and I'm going to be picking a couple names from the bucket. So if you've put your name in, good luck. Our 6 curated storytellers tonight are absolutely phenomenal, and I'm so excited. We have 2 folks who have been on this stage a number of times and are just stalwart supporters, but we have 4 brand new storytellers this month. I know, give it up for the brave souls. So excited, I'm so proud of them all. Although one isn't here yet, so maybe we'll pull an extra name if she doesn't show. Anyway, very excited about tonight's theme. I think we all are. Ironically, I don't really have a story, which if you know me, makes 0 sense for this theme. I do have stories, but I feel like I've told them all so many times, and it's just not that interesting. But I was talking to a good friend last night, and the Paramount Theater in Oakland, where I used to live, is starting to show old movies again. And the last time I went to a movie at the Paramount was with this friend, her husband, and my husband at the time. And we went to see All the President's Men, which is a great movie. And my husband at the time had recently decided to stop drinking, and also to cut back on his prescribed drugs, his anti-anxiety medications. And so we went to the Paramount, we saw this movie, and he had a cocktail. I think he had an old fashioned. And then we went back to the house after the movie, and he had a beer. And we were sitting at the table, and out of nowhere, he has a grand mal seizure. He's not epileptic. This has never happened before. I learned a lot that night, primarily that I am the last person you want in the room when there's a crisis. My reaction, I'm not making any of this up, was to throw water on him a lot. And at one point, we got him off the chair and on the floor. I'm like trying to put the spoon. I mean, he's not swallowing his tongue. Like, this is unnecessary. But I'm like forcing it in and throwing water on him. And my two friends are very calm, cool, and collected. And they're like, what is wrong with this woman? They were like more worried about me than they were about my husband having a seizure on the floor. And so it turns out that when you stop drinking and you start again, even one drink, there's like a 0.3% in the fine print of the medication that he was taking that you can have a seizure. So that's what happened. And the paramedics came, and my husband wakes up on the floor, soaking wet, with a sore jaw, completely confused. And the first question that the paramedics asked him to make sure that he was okay was, who's the president? And it was like he just wanted to die again because it was Trump. It was Trump won. And he was like, can I just go back into the other place? And anyway, so yeah, not good in a crisis. And on the way home, Jake and Molly are sort of silent and sort of traumatized by my behavior. And Jake was like, I just hope nothing ever happens when it's just me and her. Which is a note you should all take. Really, I am bad in a crisis. So anyway, like I said, tonight is going to be a really fun night. I know for those of you who have been here before, you guys are an incredible audience. For those of you who haven't, I'm going to give you a little feedback before we get started. Basically, this is a give and take situation. You are a part of this story tonight, so be respectful, turn your phones off, pay attention, laugh when it's funny, cry when it isn't. Although I don't think we have any crying stories tonight. Although who knows, this might trigger something for someone, I don't know. Also, our first storyteller tonight is also Word of Mouth's artist in residence, and he is an incredible help to me every single month, sourcing performers and just being a general support. He's just the greatest. And he is going to be performing, and in a nutshell, on July 31st at the Sophia Theater in downtown Sacramento. Amy and Aaron, the producers, are here in the front row. They are amazing. The show is incredible. Alex and I performed there last month for their Not Safe for Work show. Such an incredible experience. It's such a beautiful theater, and it's a great show. And next month's theme is Best in Show. So it's stories about the animals that we love. I'm a little scared. I feel like I'm just going to cry the whole time. But there'll be 4 incredible storytellers. So again, July 31st at the Sophia, hosted by Keith Jensen. Chip Powell will not be telling a story about a hedgehog, despite what this flyer says. So anyway, question in the back, Mom. For those of you who are first-timers, typically my co-host is my dog. The last time he was here last month, he ate something off the floor that was toxic. We don't know what, but he's very old. I was gonna be like, if that's me, you're busted. Yeah, so he's old and frail, and he's home and pouting. You know that. You do. Okay. All right, so without further ado, please give it up for our very first storyteller, Chip Powell. I'm the worst.
You're the best. You're the best. Thank you. What's the thing? Sex, drunk, and rock and roll? Sex, drunk, and rock and roll. I have started vacationing in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, every February. It's nice and warm down there. I love it. The place where I like to stay down there is this part of town called La Zona Romantica, right? The ZR. It's a kind of little neighborhood, kind of south of the main part of the city. It's an incredibly rich place culturally. Art, music, theater, dining, fine dining. It's an incredibly diverse part of town, too. Like, for example, you have old gay men, you have young gay men, you have white, black, Latino, and Asian gay men, you have bears, daddies, twinks, otters. There's a smattering of straight people and a handful of lesbians here and there. And sometimes you see like a kid or a baby. Like, what the fuck are they doing here? So I appreciate the diversity of La Zona Romantica. And on my last trip down there, I connect with an old business colleague of mine. I hadn't seen her in years. Great lady, good friend named Karma, beautiful woman. We're hanging out on the beach, Los Muertos Beach, and was drinking canned cocktails in the Mexican sun all day. And hey, let's go to Don Chavez for tacos and margaritas. Yeah, okay, now let's go to Monzon for some beers. And I'm just like out of my mind. I'm on vacation, whatever. But Karma says to me, "Oh my God, it's Sunday. I just realized it's Sunday Fun Day at La Catrina Cantina. Have you ever been?" "No." She says, "Do you want to go?" And I'm in Mexico. I'm on vacation. I'm drunk. And the answer to really any question is yes. Let's go. I said, "All right, I'll meet you there in an hour. I'm going to go home and change, shower. I'll meet you there in an hour." I show up at La Catrina Cantina. And Karma is sitting kind of huddled over in the corner of like this big horseshoe bar. And the place is packed. It's got a giant bar and a big stage. And there's a drag queen on stage singing Queen. I'm like, oh my, I found my people. It's a big room, the tables like this, people sitting, standing, listening to the music. I go find my, she's super crowded. I sit down, "Hey, how's it going?" It's a cool place. It's a very diverse place. It's all gay men and drag queens, except for Karma and me. I guarantee, and I'm not even stereotyping. We're the only straight people there. She's definitely the only woman there besides the drag queens. And but again, La Zona Romantica, everyone's welcome all the time. Everyone's friends everywhere where you go. I love it down there. And she says, "Oh my God, right before you got here, dude, the craziest thing was happening on stage. I couldn't see that well from where I am." She's teeny tiny. She said, "But I think this guy was blowing this exotic dancer like on the stage." I'm like, "Whoa, that's crazy. All right." We ordered drinks and listening to the music, and they're just, each performer gets about 10 minutes or so. They're not all drag queens. Some are just amazing singers. And they're playing all my favorite music, Elton John and Bowie and Amy Winehouse, and I am so feeling it, and alcohol is just coursing through my veins, and I just love this music so much. I love Mexico so much, and I'm singing along with the songs, and then I realize on the other side of the room there's a big monitor, and the lyrics to the songs are scrolling down the monitor, and then my drunk ass starts thinking I'm at karaoke. I'm like, because I haven't been to a lot of drag shows, but I've been to a lot of karaoke. And the only place I've ever seen a monitor with lyrics, that's karaoke. And I start, well, I want to sing. Give me a fucking microphone. I want to tell a story, give a speech, sing a song, read a poem. I'm just one of those assholes. And I'm thinking, what song should I sing? How's my voice right now? Jesus. Can I hit the high notes? Can I do Psycho Killer? And I'm getting ready to order another drink. Not a good idea. It's been a long day of drinking. And then just like in the movies, like a little tiny Chip Powell, angel and devil appear on my shoulders. They look just like me, but tiny. And like the devil one has a pitchfork and little horns, and the angel one has a little halo and wings, and the devil one says, "Man, get a Hendrix and tonic, man. Get a double." That's a good idea. And the angel one says, "Brother, just get like a glass of ice water and just give yourself an hour to just calm down a little bit." And I'm weighing my options here when the host of the show is a drag queen named Ferdinand Drag. And she's tall and beautiful like Amber. Her hair is even taller. She's about 10 feet tall with the hair. And she comes around the side of the bar and she's pointing at me, looking at me. And I kind of look, are you talking to me? She's like, "Hey, do you want to go on stage?" Fuck yeah, I do. Oh my God. This is amazing. I stumble out of my bar stool and I take Ferdinand Drag's beautiful giant hand and she leads me around like the back of the bar. And there's a couple guys at the end of the bar. Oh, there's a kind of gay man I didn't mention, the Good Samaritan gay. Guy taps me. He says, hey man, you sure you want to go up there? I'm like, whoa, wait, why did he just say that? I said, am I gonna sing? He said, "Oh, you're gonna do something." And the one molecule in my body that wasn't drunk went, "Oh, I don't know if I want to go on the stage anymore. I don't want to do this anymore." And I let go of Ferdinand Drag's giant, beautiful hand. And I say, Lo siento, guapa. No puedo ahora. Lo siento. No puedo. I can't. I'm so sorry. I can't. I do the walk of shame back to my seat. And sit back down. And the guys we were talking to, Karma and I, they said, "Oh, wait, you're straight?" And I said, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh, God, it's a good thing you didn't go up there." I'm like, shit, what's going to happen? And what you think is going to happen happens. They find another guy in the crowd who's a little more appreciative of this, and they put him in a little chair like this, and out comes the exotic dancer, buff, tan, little leather cap, little Speedo, giant turgid cock. He's rubbing it around in this guy's face, and the guy's laughing. He lifts the guy's legs up. He's simulating penetration, and everyone's cracking up, and it's a good time. And I'm watching all this, and I'm thinking that it would not. There was no forced fellatio. There was no actual sex. It's a drag show. It's a strip show. Whatever. It would not have been the worst thing that had ever happened to me. It might have made a better story to miss out on this. But here's the thing. Like I don't have any experience with dance. Like I've never even been to a strip club. Like I don't. It's just not. It's the whole thing feels weird to me. I don't like it. But I figure if I am gonna be in this situation, I'd rather get a lap dance from a beautiful, buxom woman than go to third base with a man. So Karma and we head out into the night in search of more alcohol and more adventures. And I give a little quick high five to the tiny little angel on my shoulder. And I say, thank you for saving me from getting that last drink at La Catrina Cantina.
Give it up for Chip Powell. I'm shocked that you've never been to a strip club. That is wild. My ex-husband and I both lived in San Francisco when we were dating. We both worked downtown. And I don't know if anyone here is familiar with the Gold Club, but it is a fine establishment. It is a strip club that is open 24 hours probably. And they have on Tuesdays a $5 fried chicken buffet that I cannot recommend more highly. We would meet there once a week with his friends from work and my friends from work. And that's where we fell in love. So, you know, we're divorced. I don't know if my parents knew that one. Did you know that one? No, no, not did you ever go there. Did you know that story? Oh, Dad knew. I guess I didn't tell you. Okay, fine. Now you know. Okay, they've learned a lot from me doing this show. I'll say that much. Okay, so this is very exciting. Our next storyteller is brand new to our stage. Yes, please make them feel very, very, very welcome. I would like to prevent. I don't want to prevent you at all. I want to present you. Our next storyteller, Frances Southwick. They live in Davis. They are thrilled to be here. They're putting on their own storytelling event on September 12th that I'll tell you a little bit more after they tell their story. And please give it up for Frances.
Okay. Okay. All right. Can you hear me? Okay, great. So, who here wants to hear a big story about how I got really fucked up on prescription drugs? Okay. So, first thing you need to know about me is I'm a doctor, like an actual doctor. The second thing you need to know is that doctors can write their own prescriptions, which is kind of an oversight by the DEA, I think. So it was 2014, and I had been a new doctor for just 1 year out of practice. And I was like, I am living my dream. But I really wasn't feeling it. I was feeling worse and worse. And it was, many of you may know this, once you get free, if you've had a traumatized childhood, once you finally climb the ladder and get free, that's when all the traumas resurface. Which seems very unfair. It was unfair. So I'm swimming with the traumas, and the water's rising, and I'm like, there's a 24-hour Rite Aid. I'm gonna treat myself. I'm gonna treat myself. I've just passed the board, so I know what to do. I have anxiety and depression, so I call Rite Aid. Are you a prescriber? Yes. Would you like to speak to the pharmacist? Or would you like to leave a message? Yes. Leave a message. Hello, this is Dr. Frances Southwick, FRANCES SOUTHWICK, calling in a prescription for the patient of same name, Frances Southwick, date of birth 9/9/83. Prescription is for Celexa. 20 milligrams, take 1 tablet once a day for 90 days. Number 90, 0 refills. I used to do that a lot. I used to call in things a lot. Now everything's electronic. So I also signed up for therapy, right? I mean, the boards tell you, you've got to take an SSRI and you've got to have some CBT. So I got into therapy. I'm like patting myself on the back for that. And I'm taking this Celexa every day. It's an antidepressant. And I'm like, I should be feeling better. And what's actually happening is these self-destructive feelings and thoughts that I was having just creeped their way into my hands instead. And I was totally powerless to these intense feelings. one evening, trying to distract myself with my friend Greg in his living room, he's like, let's watch Little Mermaid. I'm like, okay. So we're watching Little Mermaid, and I'm like, this is really not working. And I just excuse myself quietly and just head over to his bedroom, and I just try to end all of my suffering. Later that evening, I was admitted to Pittsburgh's main psychiatric hospital, which, awkward, because I was also a doctor in the same system, and I knew a lot of the psychiatrists. So awkward. They're like, where do we put you? A doctor. So they actually put me on the nicest floor. They put me on the eating disorder floor with all the cool girls. So that was nice. And we watched a lot of ER, like a lot, back to back to back box sets of ER. That was the main thing I did there, because we couldn't watch, Food Network. It's true. Yeah, it's true. And I also couldn't move a lot, partly because I couldn't move because I was so desperately depressed, but also because if you're on the eating disorder floor, you are not allowed to move around very much, so you don't burn calories. I didn't have an eating disorder, an active eating disorder at the time, but I was like, when in Rome. So I'm not feeling much therapeutic effect from this stay yet. And I don't blame anyone for that. Mainly a psychiatric hospitalization is about keeping yourself safe until you are safe from yourself, right? So on the third day, they come out with this announcement. They're like, today's music therapy day. And I feel a little something. I feel a little sparkle. Small, very tiny. And we gather in the group room, the couches, and we wait. And up walks this 20-year-old white guy with glasses and khakis, and he's got this big blonde Martin guitar. And he comes up and he's like, all right, ladies, here's the list. And he hands out a list of 100 songs that he's memorized that we get to pick from, okay? He's like, but the rules are, you pick a song, but you tell me a DBT skill that can be interwoven with the song lyrics. Or and a lot of people have been here a lot longer than me. They've cycled in and out of this floor, so they've seen this charade before. And this woman in her 60s is next to me, and she goes, "Wind beneath my wings." And he's like, okay, great. And he's already starting to feel a little sad. He's like, what skill would you like to use? And she's like, just play the song. He's like, okay. And so he's strumming, singing, and we're winding and winging. And he finishes that. A few other people go, they ask their songs. Nobody has a skill, but they are volunteering. Um, and another person goes and they're like, he's like, yes, and they're like, Aerosmith! And he's like, that's not on the list. But I guess I don't know. And he just ends up playing Stand By Me. And he's wrapping up. He's kind of done with this crowd. He wraps his stuff up. He's got his guitar. He's ready to hit the trail. And I peer down at the list, and I see my song. And I'm like trying to speak, which is very hard for me to do when I'm really sad. And I was like, one more? And he was like, what? Did somebody say something? And the 60-year-old was like, she said one more! So he's like, yes? What song would you like me to play? And I'm like, Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen. And he starts strumming and singing. And it doesn't really matter that he can't really feel what he's playing because just the song carries itself. If you know this song, we all know this song, right? Keith Lowell Jensen, all of us know, many of us know, he's a comedian, he's the host of In a Nutshell. And anytime he gets a microphone, he tells you that he's an atheist, doesn't he? He says, I'm an atheist, I'm a Nazi-punching atheist. And that's cool, like, yes. But I was listening closely to one of his interviews recently, and he said, I'm an atheist, but, lately I'm finding a lot of comfort in my old rosary beads. And I feel like that about that song. I don't want to discourage anyone here from getting psychiatric help because, yes, there is a black box warning on most psychiatric drugs, right, that says if you're feeling more suicidal, stop the medication. And that happened to me with that drug. But I did eventually find something that helped, a lot of things that helped, mostly music and people. But for the purposes of this story, prescription drugs fucked me up and rock and roll saved my life.
Give it up for Frances! Thank you, Frances. That was so brave. What? Oh, sure. Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks, Molly. Thank you, Frances, for sharing that with us. And we're all really glad you're still here. I want to tell you about Frances's show. It is Saturday, September 12th at 7 p.m. at the Wyatt Pavilion in Davis. And it's called Medicine Story 2, Stories from 5 Healthcare Workers on the Theme of Secrets. There will also be live music. So check it out at medicinestory.org. Pick up a flyer here if you are interested. Thank you for that, Frances. All righty. Our next storyteller is also part of the world of In a Nutshell and all of the storytelling things happening in Sacramento. I'm very excited to have her here. I just need to find her bio. Sorry. Where are you, Michelle? There you are. Okay. Oh, wait. Did I not get one from you, Michelle? Oh, yes, I did. Here we go. She is an artist, an author, a jewelry designer, a NorCal native living in Roseville, obsessed with pickleball. Please give it up for Michelle Wood.
Okay. So I grew up in a tiny duplex with my parents, 2 brothers, and what could only be described as a small petting zoo. So needless to say, space was limited, which made it pretty impressive that several shelves in our undersized entry closet were dedicated to a library of porn. Mostly Playboys, peppered with sporadic sightings of salacious periodicals like Penthouse and Hustler. Stacked precariously high in narrow columns, their glossy exteriors were prone to avalanche, constantly creating little landslides of erotica. My older brother, Bill, was allowed full access to the library. This was mandatory reading for any up-and-coming young misogynist. When Bill was an unmotivated reader in 3rd grade, perusing the family library was the perfect remedy to stimulate his literary pursuits. He's an avid reader to this day. Conversely, as a female, I was not given a library card. I had to wait for the rare occasion I was home alone to investigate the closet of curiosities. A trip to the grocery store, running a few errands, perhaps some holiday shopping. Miss December, here I come. I devoured every word of the titillating articles. Insightful essays presented the Playmate of the Month. I zealously studied her turn-ons and turn-offs, noted in the Playmate data sheet. The 20 questions feature was better than any prize at the bottom of a cereal box. Studious sorority girls, soon to be doctors. Preachers' daughters shedding their pious ways, and freckled farm girls headed for Hollywood, eagerly exposing their lady bits. I was enthralled. The lustful beauties of Penthouse were significantly more risque. Their photo essays often included hairy-chested hunks. One memorable spread showcased a woolly couple in the shower, lathered in the bubbliest soap I'd ever seen. Mr. Bubble never bubbled like that for me. The tidy little temptress had removed the handheld massage wand and was meticulously washing what I knew as her privacy. I can only imagine Santa's confusion when a Price Pfister shower massage was on my Christmas list, and has been ever since. As if this closeted pornographic indoctrination wasn't bad enough, the mid-'70s gave rise to the glory days of the mom-and-pop video shop. For $1.99, your rental options were endless. These neighborhood beacons of entertainment housed seedy side rooms where my father would shamelessly saunter behind the red velvet curtain, carefully pondering which porno piqued his interest. While we were in the main aisles, choosing new releases like Star Wars and Saturday Night Fever and Flash Gordon, Dad was choosing cinematic treasures like Flesh Gordon, Debbie Does Dallas, and a well-worn copy of Deep Throat. With our selections made, we'd gather at the register, happily stacking our video picks like Jenga blocks, while a 16-year-old schoolgirl inspected our selections and rang us up. Much like the magazines, Bill was granted unrestricted access to the videos, but I had to bide my time waiting for the family's departure to finally find out what all the fuss was about. It was during this surreptitious viewing that my small world was knocked off its axis. In my mom's crude attempt at explaining the birds and the bees, she clearly stated, and I quote, "The man stuff that makes babies is invisible and can only be seen by a microscope." So you can imagine my surprise when the actor's quite visible man-stuff crescendo cascaded all over the unsuspecting secretary and her typewriter on her first day at the detective agency. The poor thing. I sat frozen, wide-eyed, and wondering if the man was sick. What just happened? My adolescent mind was racing like a laboratory rat in a nicotine maze. I needed answers, but I couldn't ask anyone. I was a video lawbreaker, and I wasn't about to be Kojak'd into a confession. Dumbstruck and disgusted, because really, ew. I pressed rewind, I pressed eject, and I never pressed my luck with pornography again. Years went by before I discovered the actor was quite ordinary. Aside from his sizable stage presence, he was perfectly normal. 50 years and 5 children later, I discovered a deeper understanding of man stuff. But I think we can all agree invisible really would be better.
Give it up for Michelle. Killed that. That was so good. Oh my God. So good, Michelle. Jeez, that's a good one. My mom just said, it feels like putting on a glove. Also, I love that when Michelle said that Penthouse was raunchier, all I heard from the back was my mom go, yeah. All right, you guys, I'm going to pick a name from the hat. I'm going to invite this person to come up and tell a 5 to 8 minute story on sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And then we're going to take a little intermission, and we'll come back and we'll pull another name, okay? So if you don't get pulled first, don't get sad. Eugene? 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 Oh, he doesn't want to do it. Are you Eugene now? Give it up for not Eugene! Also, when she put her name in the hat, she's like, it's not a guarantee, right? I was like, no, you probably won't get called.
This is my first time here. I came to support my friend who will be speaking later. But like our first speaker, I guess I'm somewhat an asshole. You give me a mic and I will try it. And I'm always looking for ways to embarrass my husband. So give it up for him because he served 30 years in the U.S. Army. He's the most straight-laced, would never, ever get up here and ever tell a story because there's not a lot about drugs and probably rock and roll. I don't know. I will see. So I'm just going to shoot for the hip. I know I only got 5 minutes, so I would appreciate any support. I think I'm going to try to tell a story that involves all three, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. But I might not be able to do that. So if you guys can shout out, which one would you rather hear from? Okay, racism. Let's go. All right, no. Okay, so because I have this goal of I think I should just embarrass my husband, which I don't want to embarrass him. I just want to kind of strip away some of that 30 years of Army, process and conservative and just kind of like straight-laced. So let's just go for that. See, he's trying to pretend he's on his phone. He's really praying like, God, what is she going to do now? So it was about mid-2000s, okay? I grew up in Indiana. I think Indiana, I won't even get into politics, but I'll just say I had a pretty much very conservative church, grew up in church a lot. So, like, no premarital sex, anything like that. And so I was very sheltered, so I didn't have a boyfriend until I went to college. And I was too young to know what I wanted, so I got involved with a big asshole. And I got a divorce. That's the only thing you need to know about that story. But it gave me 3 beautiful kids. I'm happy with that. So, but I met him when I was in college. I was 18. So the time I was 18, so I was like in my 30s, I was only with one person. Because I was a good girl. I didn't do the stuff before. But I found myself being in my 30s and like ready to wild out. Woo! But I'm like 18 mentally because I'm like, oh my God, you guys see me naked? Oh my God, I got stretch marks. Oh. So anyway, I just really didn't date. I was like, okay, I just need to focus on my kids. I'm not gonna date. And then one of my friends was like, you should go online. And the line of work that I'm in, I really didn't trust that. Like I was convinced everyone was a serial killer or I don't know, some evil person. So I didn't want to do it. So then she did it, and then I saw the person she dated, and I was like, a news anchor. Okay, they're really good. Okay, so let me try it. So I go online, and I meet someone, and I never dated outside my race. I just never did. So I meet a nice guy who's white, and I'm like, okay, he's fine. He's cute. Okay, and then we did it on Tinder, which is the worst one, but we were both like 40, so we didn't know that it was really a hookup site. So we both get on Tinder, and the way Tinder works is you swipe it, and then if they like you and you swipe it, like you get a big thing, and they're like, and I'm like, oh my God, a white guy likes me. Oh my God, okay, this might work. Okay, let's see. So like we start dating, and then I find out he's in the military. I don't know anything about military, so I start Googling, what does military mean? What do they do? So it says they cheat a lot. So all the time I'm like, okay, they cheat a lot because they're always gone. So every time we would go on a date, I'm like, do you have another wife somewhere? Did you go overseas and there's another kid? And I swear, like 50 dates, I asked this question every single time. And then one time he's like, I have something to tell you. Yeah. I was like, you mother. Psych. I was like, oh, okay, you got me. So I stopped asking the question. So anyway, like, okay, we were probably at maybe 30 dates. And so like, I'm still a good little girl. I'm a little nervous, but we're going to do it, right? So what do I think about? Is it true what they say about white men? Am I going to be fulfilled? I don't know. Okay, so we're there, it's getting hot and heavy, and we're ready. And like, do you try to look and see? It's kind of hard because you're facing, you're kissing, so you're like, oh, look at that. I don't know. So I can't see. But the moment of truth is coming, and I gotta know. Okay, so then we're like taking off clothes, and I'm like, oh, maybe I could just feel, and maybe I could see, but like, he's like, in control. He's a first sergeant, so I don't really have much movement in my hands. And so, the moment comes, we're ready, I'm open, I'm ready, and you want to know how big he is? Well, we've been married for 15 years, so there we go.
Give it up for Eugene's wife. Eugene, you're a good sport. You got a good woman. Good job, everybody. Give it up for love. Yay. I love it. Okay, so should I pick one more name before intermission? Just because? Okay. That was great. My ex-husband was 5'5", and I always, when people are like, really? I'm like, he had a big personality. He did. But the other thing was fine. Okay. John Keenan. Get on up here, buddy.
Okay. When I came in and put my name in the hat, I didn't know it was sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Oh, no. I thought about leaving and saying I was sick or something. And then I tried to develop a stupid little story into something that happened, like maybe it turned in a few alcoholics. Maybe it made someone uncontrollable alcoholics. So I think I'm going to tell the story. I was a little 7-year-old kid in Lodi in this Mickey Grove Park. They used to have these festivals. And my little brother and I, he was like 4. And you can win little ducks in these festivals if you just throw the little ring around the Coke bottles. And we're pretty talented little kids. And we walked away with 7 ducks. They were in little Chinese to-go containers, the little food containers. You open up the little container, and you have this little yellow duck. And we got 7 of them, so we dump them in a box when we get home, and we wanted to name them. And I got the first one, and I said, this will be Freddie. And Freddie wanted to get away, so I took off chasing it to the yard. Come back, Freddie. And my little brother thought they squeaked too much, so he went into the garage and got my dad's oil can. I still have that can to this day in my barn. But he oiled all the ducks. And sadly to say, these ducks didn't make it. They perished. We tried our best, so that suds and water and everything, and it just didn't work out. But Freddie stayed and was fine and grew up to be a big white duck. I mean, yellow little duck, big white duck. And it was a family member. It was in our home. It lived in our home and played with us in the backyard. And Freddie, quack, 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 quack. Okay? So one day, my dad, being the engineer, smoking his pipe, he made a decision that it's probably time to let Freddie go at Lodi Lake and frolic with his own people. And so we all kind of made a plan to go. My mom made her fried chicken, and we got the blanket out there at the lake and tried to introduce Freddie to all these other ducks. There's all kinds of different ducks, and Freddie would have no part of it. It's like we'd shove Freddie closer to the lake, and Freddie would come back to our little table and, watch us eat chicken. And so we decided, my dad, another puff off his pipe, being the engineer he was, I think we ought to make a plan on just making a dash for it. We'll get in we'll wrap up the blanket and picnic basket, and we'll just leave Freddie here to have to be forced to meet his people and enjoy his life the way it should be with the other ducks. Freddie still didn't cooperate at all. Just like no. So we decided to do the plan B, and we raced to the car, and we all jumped in and started driving down Hammer Lane. And we're going about 45 miles an hour down Hammer Lane, and I look out the side window, there's Freddie flying right next to the car. Wah, wah, what the fuck? And I didn't even know Freddie could fly. So Dad, there's Freddie. Whoa, fly right next to us. The traffic everywhere and everything. My dad had to slow down and stop in the middle of the road, and everybody had to slow down and stop too. So the duck landed and waddled over. I kicked the back door open. Duck jumped in. Shut the door, and we drove off. And I got to tell you, to this day, this story about Freddie the duck probably turned the people that were behind us into alcoholics. And they're probably drinking to this day.
Give it up for John and Freddie the duck. Oh my gosh. I love that. I hate that your brother got the oil can, but I also love that he got the oil can because they were squeaking. Oh my God, that's so cute and horrifying. Okay, we're gonna take just a quick 10-minute, 15-minute break. Go to the bar, get drinks, tip Molly well, and we'll see you back here. I'll pick a couple more names, and then we've got some amazing stories for you. Come on back.